Hello grade 7 learners, welcome to our another session in Math O'Clock with teacher Catherine. I hope that you are all doing well, so please prepare your math modules, learning activity sheets, paper and pen, and let's start another math exciting lesson in mathematics. So let's go! For this week, we will be discussing about operations on rational numbers, but this video will be exclusive for the operations on fractions only. Okay, and at the end of this video, you are expected to So in the previous video, you have learned about your target or your goal in this video series. But since this is just a continuation of that video, this video lesson in particular will focus on multiplication and division of fractions. So I guess you are now ready. We'll now be having multiplication of fractions. Multiplication of fractions is quite similar to what we are doing in multiplying integers or whole numbers. It's just that we will now be dealing with numerators and denominators. So please prepare yourself and get ready about the following rules in multiplication of fractions. So let us start. To multiply fractions, multiply the numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. Always remember that rule. Multiply the numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. And then always write your answers in simplest form. As simple as that. Okay, in symbols, that is written by A over B times C over D. So that is A times C and B times D. By the way, this symbol here, this dot between these two fractions is a symbol for multiplication. Okay, so let us apply the rule. So for example 1, we have 3/5 times 2 over 3. Again, if you will see or if you can see fractions or numbers enclosed by a parenthesis like this, and then there is no operation between them, the operation here is multiplication automatically. So we have here 3/5 times 2/3. So again, the rule is numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So let us have first, or let us multiply first the numerator. 3 times 2. Alright, the answer is 6. After multiplying the numerator, the two numerators, we will now be multiplying the two denominators. So 5 times 3. Okay, the answer is 15. Therefore, the final answer is, the answer is 6 over 15. But again, so we have 6 over 15. And do you think 6 over 15 is in its simplest form? Okay, you are correct. 6 over 15 is not yet simplified. So what do you think is the lowest term of 6 over 15? So if your answer is 2 over 5, you are correct. 2 over 5 is obtained by dividing the GCF for both 6 and 15, which is 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay? So let us now proceed to the next example. The second example is an example of multiplying a fraction, wherein the first one, we have here a fraction and then the other one is a whole number. But take note guys, that 12 is still considered as a rational number and it is still a part of a fraction. So So doing the same process, we have 3/4 and 12. Let us just write 12 as a fraction. So how are we going to do it? We will just write it as 12 over 1 so that the numerator is visible as well as the denominator. Then after that, we will now be applying the rule. Numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So 3 times 12 is 36. And then we will now be having the denominator. So we have 4 times 1. That is 36 over 4. 36 over 4 can still be simplified. So 36 over 4 in lowest term is 9. Therefore, the final answer is 9. How about we are going to multiply a fraction or we have mixed numbers in some of our cases. Let's say for example in 3, we are going to multiply 3/4 and 3 and 4 over 5. Okay? So the first thing that you are going to do here is that you have to convert the mixed fraction into a fraction or into an improper fraction. So how are we going to do that? Just multiply this 5 times 3, that is 15, and then plus 4. So we will be having 19 over 5 as its equivalent improper fraction. And then after that, you will now proceed with our rule. The rule now is that 3 times 19. So what is 3 times 19? And then multiply 4 and 5. So 3 times 19 is 57 and 4 over 5 is 20. And take note that the answer obtained or the product obtained is still in its improper fraction. We have to rewrite this in mixed form, and to do that, just divide 57 by 20. And by that, after simplifying, we will arrive at 2 and 17 over 20. That will now be your final answer. Okay, so this time, we will now be dealing with division of fractions. Division of fractions is quite similar to multiplication of fractions, but there is another step that we have to do before proceeding to that one. So let us take a look on how we are going to deal with division of fractions. So I know that you are ready. Let's start. So to divide fractions, multiply the dividend by the multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal of the divisor. In our previous video lessons on the properties of the different operations on integers, we have discussed about reciprocal. So I guess that you are now familiar with that and you are very much ready to deal with division. So if the given is a mixed fraction, change it first into improper fraction and then follow the first rule. So A over B, in symbols, A over B divided by C over D equals A over B times D over C equals A D divided by BC. So as you can see from the given, we have here A over B, it is just copied here, and then we have the division symbol is changed into multiplication, and then C over D, the reciprocal of C over D is D over C. Okay? And then we have the numerator times numerator and denominator by denominator. We'll just multiply it by its reciprocal as always. Okay, let's have the first example. So we have here 1/2 divided by 1/4. So the first rule states that, as we see, we have here a proper fractions. We do not have mixed numbers, so we do not have to change everything. 1/2 is the dividend and 1/4 is the divisor. The one that we are going to get the reciprocal is always the divisor. Okay? So this time, we will just copy 1/2. Just copy 1/2. And then from division, we will make it multiplication. And then what is the reciprocal of 1/4? Very good. The reciprocal of 1/4 is 4/1. And then applying the rule, numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator, the answer is 4/2. That is because 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. But 4/2 can still be simplified, isn't it? So if you are going to simplify this, the answer is 2. That's as easy as that. Let us have another one. Okay, the second example, we have 5 divided by 2/3. So as we can see, we have here a whole number and then a fraction. Just like what we are doing in the addition and subtraction a while back, or in the multiplication, we'll just write 5 as fraction by writing 1 as its denominator. So we have here 5 is the dividend and the divisor is 2/3. So we are going to get the reciprocal of 2/3 then. Okay, so we have 5, we will write it as 5/1 times the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. We will interchange the numerator and the denominator. Always the second number or the divisor. The dividend will always be copied. Okay? Then after that, we will now apply numerator times numerator and denominator by denominator. Okay, so 5 times 3 is 15 and 1 times 2 is 2. 15/2 can still be simplified. We are going to write this in mixed number if your teacher told you so. So in mixed number, that is equivalent to 7 and 1/2. How about if we have an improper number or mixed number? Let's say, for example, the following: 20 divided by 2 and 1/2. The dividend is 20 and the divisor is 2.5. 2.5 is a mixed number. So how are we going to do that? Going back to the definition, or instruction a while back, we have to change this into improper fraction first before proceeding to the real division process. Okay, so let's change everything. So from 2.5, the improper fraction, 2.5 is an improper fraction is 5/2. And then after that, we'll just copy 20 again. So that will become 20/1. And then the reciprocal of 5/2 is 2/5. And then after this, we will now apply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So 20 times 2 is 40 and 1 times 5 is 5. Simplifying this, the final answer is positive 8. Isn't it easy? So I hope that you have learned everything that you need to learn at this moment. If you have questions, you can clarify, you can comment your questions on the comment section of our YouTube channel, and then we will be answering your queries soon. Okay? Do not hesitate to comment your concerns or your reactions on our comment section. So I think that this video is very helpful to you. You may now proceed in answering your learning activity sheets. With that, thank you for watching. We will see each other again in our next video lesson. Thank you and God bless and keep safe everyone.